Hello, and welcome to another video of Thoughts at the Pottery Wheel. So for this particular video, I wanted to talk about falling back in love with the craft. I feel like this happens a lot, especially with us creatives who decide to turn our hobbies and our creative interests into businesses, is we kind of get sucked into the every day needing to make money and trying to make choices based off of, what's going to keep our business running. And it can be really easy to kind of lose sight of the reason why you started doing it in the first place, or what you loved so much about your craft. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today. So there's a reason why this video is paired with me doing trimming. Trimming has always been a part of the process that I have not enjoyed. It has always been something that I've struggled with doing, and part of that comes from learning how to do pottery right-handed when I'm left-handed, and so the trimming was really a difficult thing for me to wrap my head around, and I've kind of always just not liked it since. And I really thought about, while I was trimming, how I can help myself enjoy this part of the process. And it was really funny. What made me think of it was talking to my customers and my followers and stuff on Instagram. They're always telling me how much they really enjoy watching the trimming videos and watch the little trimming curls coming off of the pieces, and how those are some of their favorite videos. And it just got me to thinking, why do I dislike this part of the process so much when they love it so much, And so I just kind of started thinking through what I could do to help myself love this part of the process as much as I do the other parts of the process. Now, I'm not saying that me trying to enjoy all parts of the process that I go through means that I have to like trimming as much as I like carving, or as much as I like painting and doing all of the decorative work on my pieces. But I have had so much animosity towards this particular part of the process, and honestly, I've been kind of burned out and struggling with the processes in general, and I have been feeling just kind of overwhelmed by all the things I have to do, and not really enjoying any of them at this point. And it kind of just circled around back to trimming, because honestly I spend so much of my time at the wheel trimming. I feel like I want to try to enjoy this part of the process more. So what am I doing to try to help myself enjoy doing pottery in general, and in particular trimming? I'm kind of reevaluating why I'm frustrated with it and why I didn't like it to begin with, because the funny thing is, especially with the trimming in particular, that once I actually kind of sit down at the wheel and I start doing it, it isn't as hard as it used to be. I've been doing this for 12 years, and trimming is gotten easier, and it really isn't the struggle or the difficulty that it used to be. But for some reason, it just kind of got stuck in my head that I didn't like it, and that it was really hard because it used to be. So that was part of the things, was me just kind of coming to terms with the fact that, hey, it's really not as bad as I remember it being. And then, just kind of looking at it and appreciating it from a different viewpoint. Like, imagining myself as my followers or my customers and stuff, just enjoying the calm music, the way that the curls are coming off of the piece, the way the foot starts to develop as I trim away the pieces, how the pottery becomes lighter from the extra trimming that I've done, and just taking all these little moments and these things that I've seen other people enjoy doing, and kind of looking at this part of the process through that lens. And I've also kind of taken that and looked through just my pottery in general and the process in general through that lens. Just really trying to appreciate what I am capable of, what I've taught myself with these 12 years of doing pottery, what I've, like, you know, the pieces and how they come out and how beautiful they really look, you know? I mean, even when they don't necessarily turn out how I envisioned, you know, kind of taking that and changing that perspective to enjoying the piece for what it is. And, you know, if I looked at it from a different perspective of how on earth is this even made, you know, or not just expecting myself to be able to do this and, you know, knowing that I can do this, it definitely gives you a different appreciation for it. And, you know, sometimes just stepping back and being like, wow, those pieces are actually pretty cool, you know, like, oh, wow, I actually made that out of a lump of dirt, you know, and just, you know, because it's just so easy to get wrapped in the, I've got to do this next, I've got to do that next, you know, my business needs to run, you know, I get so used to being capable of doing these things without realizing how long it took me to be capable of doing these things. And so I feel like just sitting there and kind of reevaluating, you know, how far I've come and where I had started and where I am now in my business and doing the pottery and you know, my craft has kind of helped me develop a new appreciation for it. And like I said, looking through it with a different lens, you know, I mean, you know, it's also helped with me doing my kids' pottery classes. I see how excited they are and how into it they are, and, you know, a lot of times they're just so amazed that I know how to fix the issue that they're having with their clay, or I have a, you know, like the bottom's coming out, so I'm just like, we'll slap on a new one, you know, and teaching them how to do all these different things and create these pieces and learn these different techniques. And kind of just, you know, learning to appreciate it and have those aha moments again, even though I've been doing it for 12 years, you know. It's kind of easy to forget how amazing this medium is to work with, you know, and just kind of changing that perspective and appreciating the clay and what it's capable of doing and what I can do with it, has really just helped me enjoy the process and fall in love with it more. And I feel like this latest collection that I've made has really been more of an enjoyment and less feeling like burned out and less feeling like I had to do it, and more appreciating it for what it is. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my thoughts and how I'm going about trying to enjoy my craft more. And I will see you next week. Bye.